Marley was dead, to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead? Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor and sole mourner. And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event. There is no doubt that Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I'm going to relate.
Get off my property.
Sorry, Mr. Scrooge.
Cratchit,
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
why aren't you finishing your reports?
I'm sorry, Mr. Scrooge, but can you put more coal on the fire?
Coal doesn't grow on trees, Cratchit. If you put another piece of coal in that heater, it's coming out of your pay.
Yes, sir.
Bah humbug. Now let's get to work.
Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who, in a dismal little cell beyond, was copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk tried to warm himself at the candle, in which effort, not being a man of strong imagination, he failed.
Oh no. Here he comes.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
What?
I said Merry Christmas.
Bah humbug.
Christmas humbug, Uncle? You surely don't mean that.
Of course I mean it. What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come now, what rights have you to be so angry when you're so rich?
Humbug.
Come on, don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in a world of fools? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older, but not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and having every item in and through a round dozen of months presented dead against you. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it. But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone, then much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say, Christmas among the rest. but I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time, when it has come round, apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin, if anything belonging to it can be apart from that, as a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of, in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
Hear, hear.
Let me hear another sound from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Sorry, boss.
Uncle, don't be hard on Mr. Cratchit, it's all my fault.
You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come. Dine with us tomorrow.
Never.
But why? Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel, to which I have been a party. But I have made the trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Cratchit.
Merry Christmas, sir.
There's another fellow, my clerk, with 15 shillings a week, and a wife and family, talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe, have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge, or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago, this very night.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses? Are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor, then?
Very busy, sir.
Oh, I was afraid, from what you said at first, that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink, and means of warmth. We choose this time, because it is a time, of all others, when want is keenly felt, and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
But you might know it.
It's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business, and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Bah humbug.
The hour of shutting up the counting house arrived. With an ill will, Scrooge dismounted from his stool and tacitly admitted the fact to the expectant clerk in the tank, who instantly snuffed his candle out and put on his hat.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose?
It's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, You'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. And yet, you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It is only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
And Scrooge walked out with a growl. Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to bed.
So many keys. Scrooge. Jacob Marley. No, that can't be. Bah humbug. Bah humbug. There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm going to bed. Hear the good stuff. Bah humbug, I won't believe it.
Gruel, you always were cheap, friend.
How did you get into my house? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Really? Old friend, you don't remember me.
I don't remember you.
In life I was your partner Jacob Marley.
Marley. It is you. I didn't recognize you with.
The chains. I wear the change I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I sewed these chains and now I wear them.
Humbug.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because they are easily affected. A slight disorder of the stomach can make it cheat. There's more gravy than a grave about you, whatever you are. Humbug. Mercy, dreadful operation, why are you haunted me?
Man of the worldly mind. Do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men, and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world, woe is me, and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness. Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Old Jacob Marley, tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. Mark me. In life my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and weary journeys lie before me.
7 years dead. And traveling all the time.
The whole time. No rest, no peace. Yet such was I. Oh, such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star which led the wise men to a poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me? They were right when they say you reap what you sow. Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
I will. But don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob. Pray. Please.
So I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
You were always a good friend to me. I thank ye.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take 'em all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. And the third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
Bah humbug. Perhaps I'm just seeing things. I think I should just go to sleep.
He endeavoured not to think, the more he thought. Marley's ghost bothered him exceedingly. Every time he resolved within himself, after mature inquiry, that it was all a dream, his mind flew back again, like a strong spring released to its first position, and presented the same problem to be worked all through. Was it a dream or not? Scrooge lay in this state until the chime had gone 3/4 more, when he remembered, on a sudden, that the ghost had warned him of a visitation when the bell tolled 1, which it now did with a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy 1. Light flashed up in the room upon the instant, and the curtains of his bed were drawn. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, I tell you, by a hand. Not the curtains at his feet, nor the curtains at his back, but those to which his face was addressed. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Scrooge, starting up into a half-recumbent attitude, found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them.
Are you the spirit, ma'am, whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No. Your past.
What matter brings you here?
Your welfare.
A night without broke sleep is better for my welfare.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed.
I can't go out there, I'll fall.
Come.
No, I'm scared.
Well, Scrooge, you scared? I'm just joking. Bear but a touch of my hand. There, and you shall be upheld in more than this. Come on, Scrooge, we don't have all night. Do you know this place?
Good heaven. I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling, and what is that upon your cheek?
Nothing. There's something in my eye.
You recollect the way?
Remember it. I could walk it blindfold.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. Let's go on. These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. Come, I have something to show you. Why are you crying?
This was my school.
The school is not quite deserted. Solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still. Do you know that boy?
Yes. Why, it's Ali Baba. It's dear old honest Ali Baba. Yes, yes, I know. One Christmas time, when yonder solitary child was left here all alone, he did come, for the first time, just like that. Poor boy. Poor boy. I wish. But it's too late now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
Who's that?
Brother.
Fan.
Dear brother. I have come to bring you home, dear brother.
Home, little Fan.
Yes! Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night when I was going to bed, that I was not afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said yes you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you. And you're to be a man. And are never to come back here. But first, we're to be together all the Christmas long, and have the merriest time in all the world.
You are quite a woman, little Fan.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
So she had.
You're right. I will not gainsay it. God forbid. She died a woman, and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew. Come, my time here is short. Do you know this place?
Know it. Was I apprenticed here? Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig alive again. It's me.
Yo-ho, there. Ebenezer. Dick. Yo-ho, there. Ebenezer, Dick, yo-ho, my boys. No more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer, let's have the shutters up, hilly-ho. Clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here. Hilly-ho.
I couldn't have worked for a kinder man.
A small matter, to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small.
Why? Is it not? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. Say that his power lies in words and looks, in things so slight and insignificant that it is impossible to add and count them up. What then? The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think?
No. I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. That's all.
My time grows short. Quick!
Do you know this place?
Oh no, It's Belle. I don't need to be here.
Listen, Ebenezer.
Another idol has displaced me. And if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the chance of its sordid reproach. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one, until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. Have I not?
Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I am not changed towards you.
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until, in good season, we could improve our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you are not what you are. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart, is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and how keenly I have thought of this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it, and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words. No. Never.
In what, then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in another atmosphere of life, another hope as its great end. In everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? Ah, no.
You think not.
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows. When I have learned a truth like this, I know how strong and irresistible it must be. But if you were free today, tomorrow, yesterday, can even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl, you who, in your very confidence with her, weigh everything by gain, or, choosing her, if for a moment you were false enough to your one guiding principle to do so, do I not know that your repentance and regret would surely follow? I do. And I release you. With a full heart, for the love of him you once were. You may, the memory of what is past half makes me hope you will, have pain in this. A very, very brief time, and you will dismiss the recollection of it, gladly, as an unprofitable dream, from which it happened well that you awoke. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Bah humbug.
Remove me from this place.
I told you these were shadows of the things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me for your choices.
Remove me. I cannot bear it. Leave me. Take me back. Haunt me no longer. I'm home.
And sitting up in bed to get his thoughts together, Scrooge had no occasion to be told that the bell was again upon the stroke of 1. He felt that he was restored to consciousness in the right nick of time, for the especial purpose of holding a conference with the second messenger, dispatched to him through Jacob Marley's intervention. But finding that he turned uncomfortably cold when he began to wonder which of his curtains this new spectre would draw back, he put them every one aside with his own hands, and, lying down again, established a sharp lookout all round the bed. For he wished to challenge the spirit on the moment of its appearance, and did not wish to be taken by surprise and made nervous. The moment Scrooge's hand was on the lock, a strange voice called him by his name. There sat a jolly giant, glorious to see, as he came peeping round the door.
Come in and know me better, man.
Scrooge entered timidly, and hung his head before this spirit. He was not the dogged Scrooge he had been, and though the spirit's eyes were clear and kind, He did not like to meet them.
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me.
Scrooge reverently did so. It was clothed in one simple, deep green robe, or mantle. Its feet, observable beneath the ample folds of the garment, were also bare, and on its head it wore no other covering than a holly wreath, set here and there with shining icicles. Its dark brown curls were long and free as its genial face, its sparkling eye, its open hand, its cheery voice, its unconstrained demeanour, and its joyful air.
You've never seen the like of me before.
Never.
And have you ever walked with my older brothers? For I am very young.
No, I don't think I have. Do you have many brothers, Spirit?
More than 1,800. 1,842 to be exact.
Wow, I can't imagine the laundry bills. Hey, I see you have a gablet but no sword.
Indeed.
Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Spirit, where are we?
Why, we are at the church.
But why?
Look.
God have mercy on my uncle.
Your nephew comes here often praying the same prayer.
How often?
Twice a day. Come.
Where are we?
We are at the house of your only clerk, Bob Cratchit.
Cratchit.
We're home.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Mom, I'm home.
Hi, Tiny Tim. Go wash up for dinner. We'll be ready in a few minutes. And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold. And better. Somehow he gets thoughtful, sitting by himself so much, and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me, coming home, that he hoped the people saw him in the church, because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day, who made lame beggars walk, and blind men see.
How is the food?
Delicious.
A Merry Christmas to all of us. God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, no. Oh, no, kind Spirit. Say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will find him here. What then? If he be like to die,
Aye, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. I'm sorry.
If man you be in heart, not adamant, forbear that wicked cant until you have discovered what the surplus is, and where it is. Will you decide what men shall live, what men shall die? It may be that in the sight of heaven, you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. O God, to hear the insect on the leaf pronouncing on the too much life among his hungry brothers in the dust.
Mr. Scrooge. I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children. Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I am sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt. A Merry Christmas.
Now who's ready to hear the story of Christmas? And it came to pass in those days, that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, into the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was, that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And, lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for, behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
Spirit, is that the one reason why we celebrate Christmas?
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that.
Come, my time is short.
Our spirits live so short.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight.
All night at midnight. Hark! The time is drawing near.
Forgive me if I am not justified in what but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself, protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw, for the flesh there is upon it. Look here. Oh, man. Look here. Look, down here.
Spirit. Are they yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware them both, and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom, unless the writing be erased. Deny it. Slander those who tell it ye. Admit it for your factious purposes, and make it worse. And by the end,
have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Scrooge, if you didn't listen to me, you would listen to the one who comes next.
Spirit,
the
where are
bell
you?
struck 12. Scrooge looked about him for the ghost, and saw it not. As the last stroke ceased to vibrate, he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifting up his eyes, beheld a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, coming like a mist along the ground towards him. The phantom slowly, gravely, silently approached. When it came near him, Scrooge bent down upon his knee, for in the very air through which this spirit moved, it seemed to scatter gloom and mystery. It was shrouded in a deep black garment and left nothing of it visible, save one outstretched hand. But for this, it would have been difficult to detach its figure from the night and separate it from the darkness by which it was surrounded. He felt that it was tall and stately when it came beside him, and that its mysterious presence filled him with a solemn dread. He knew no more, for the spirit neither spoke nor moved.
I'm in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company, and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on. Lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me, I know. Lead on, Spirit. The business hall, I come here often. I know those two men.
I don't know much about it, either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me. That's all I know. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral. For upon my life, I don't know of anybody to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer. I don't mind going if the lunch is provided. But I must be fed if I make one.
Well, I am the most disinterested among you, after all. For I never wear black gloves, and I never eat lunch. But I'll offer to go, if anybody else will. When I come to think of it, I'm not at all sure that I wasn't his most particular friend. For we used to stop and speak whenever we met. Bye.
Bye.
If there is any person in the town who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show that person to me, Spirit, I beseech you. Spirit, this place looks familiar.
Look what I found silverware. Do you think he will miss it?
Nah. His days of being miserable is over.
If he wanted someone to look after his property, then he should have done more things for others.
Wait, is it his blankets? You don't mean to tell me you took them down, Riz, and all with them lying there?
Why not? Who cares about the likes of him? Just think, he pushed everyone away when he was alive to profit us when he is dead.
Spirit, who is this unhappy man? Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson, trust me. Let us go. I understand you, and I would do it if I could. But I have not the power, Spirit. I have not the power. Spirit, surely someone must feel some emotion to this man's death. Show that person to me, please, I beg you.
Are we ruined?
There is hope yet.
Hope? Only if he relents?
He has passed relenting. He is dead.
Dead? Oh my God, it's a miracle.
I know I don't need to worry about my debts to him anymore. Now we can sleep a good night's rest, my dear.
The only emotion that people have about this man's death is happiness. Spirit, please show me some tenderness connected with the death, or this chamber will forever haunt me. Bob Cratchit's house, finally something wholesome.
The color hurts my eyes. The color? Ah, poor Tiny Tim. They're better now again. It makes them weak by candlelight. And I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home, for the world. It must be near his time.
But I think he has walked a little slower than he used, these 2 last evenings, Mother. I have known him walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder, very fast indeed.
And so have I, often. And so have I. So had all. Hi dear.
Hi Bob, how was it?
I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there on a Sunday. My little child. My little child.
It's okay children, Tiny Tim is in a better place. I can see him now, he's running up and down the streets of gold.
No, not Tiny Tim. Spirit, where are we now?
My little child. Why God? Why are you doing this to me?
Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me what man that was whom we saw lying dead. Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me this question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be, only? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if persevered in, they must lead, but if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me. Am I that man who lay upon the bed? No, spirit. Oh no, no. Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been but for this intercourse. Why show me this, if I am past all hope? Good Spirit, your nature intercedes for me, and pities me. Assure me that I yet may change these shadows you have shown me, by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart, and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone. Spirit, where did you go? What's that noise? No, God, please forgive me. Don't have me die forgotten. I'm at home. I'm alive. My curtains, they're not torn down. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob will be proud. God be praised for this. Oh, I am as light as a feather, I am as happy as an angel, I am as merry as a schoolboy. I am as giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Oh, look at the street, glorious church bells. But I wonder what day it is, I ask this fine boy. Hello, you there. What's today?
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can, of course they can. Hello, my boy.
Hello.
Do you know the poulterers in the next street but one, at the corner?
I should hope I did.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not a little prize turkey, the big one.
What? The one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him, yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
What with what money?
No, no. I am in earnest. Don't buy it, and tell them to bring it here, that I may give them the direction where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He surely know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Joe Miller never made such a joke as sending it to Bob's will be. Mrs. Dilbert. Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, help. He's gone mad.
My dear Mrs. Dilbert, you are the most beautiful woman I have ever known.
Mr. Scrooge, what is wrong with you?
Nothing now that you're here. Does someone need a hug?
Get away from me.
It's a great door knocker.
Here is the bird.
Thank you, my boy. How are you? Merry Christmas.
You too, Mr. Scrooge, thank you.
Thank you so much. Wait, you can't bring the gigantic turkey all the way to Camden Town. You must have a cab. Drive on, my good man. I have a lot to do. I have to get dressed.
Sir, can you please spare a coin? Oh no.
Merry Christmas. Here.
Wow, thank you. Mr.
Scrooge.
Scrooge?
Yes, that is my name. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge. Wow, I guess some people can change.
My dear sir, how do you do? I hope you succeeded yesterday. A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that is my name, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. But allow me to ask your pardon, and will you have the goodness?
Lord bless me, my dear Mr. Scrooge. Are you serious?
And not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you.
My dear son, I don't know what to say to such.
You don't say anything. I much obliged you. Many thanks to you, and bless you.
Hello, sir. How can I help you?
Is your master home?
Yes, sir, he is.
I'm his uncle.
They are in the dining room.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Uncle Scrooge.
I've come to dinner, if you'll have me.
Of course, Uncle, welcome. Meet my wife, Rachel.
It's an honor to meet you.
I'm so happy to finally meet you.
Next year we must have this dinner at my house.
But he was early at the office next morning. Oh, he was early there. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he had set his heart upon. And he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1:15. No Bob. He was full 18 minutes and a half behind his time. Scrooge sat with his door wide open that he might see him come into the tank. His hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen, as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
Hello. What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
You are? Yes, I think you are. Step this way, sir, if you please.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend, I am not going to stand this sort of thing any longer. And therefore I am about to raise your salary.
No, Mr. Scrooge, please don't fire me. What did you just say, raise my salary?
Yes, I did, my dear friend. A Merry Christmas, Bob. A Merry Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop, Bob. Make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Mr. Scrooge, are you serious? I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good, at which some people did not have their fill of laughter in the outset. And knowing that such as these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes in grins as have the malady in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, every one.